Hello, good afternoon everyone and welcome along to the Coventry Building Society Arena here in the West Midlands. There's a big game on the way from the Sky Bet Championship this lunchtime as two cities collide in this part of the country with a return for Mark Robins as in-form Coventry host troubled side Stoke. Well, Coventry City have been in formidable form recently and fans are dreaming of a return to the Premier League. The big time of the top flight they haven't enjoyed since 2001 when Gordon Strachan was the boss here. Frank Lampard is the man leading the Sky Blues forward now as they look to carry on this great run of form right until the end of the season, and they'll be hoping the playoffs as well that they now feel they should be part of. The former England star arrived at the club on the 17th of November. They were far low down in the table at that stage. It was the sacking of the now Stoke boss Mark Robins that raised plenty of eyebrows. Owner Doug King stood by his decision though, and it's now paying dividends. Quite beautiful day here in Coventry. A near sellout at this stadium with Stoke City the visitors. Mark Robins 12 games into his reign in the Potteries. Now hoping to get one over on his former side of two spells and multiple promotions as well. The feel-good factor is certainly back here, signalled by a crowd of around 30,000 here this afternoon. Coventry winners by the odd goal in 5 against Oxford United last week. They haven't won 5 in succession in over 5 years, while here at home just 1 defeat in 10 has given them a solid base to work off. They're only 1 point inside the playoffs, so it is congested either side of the dotted line. All they can do for now is keep winning and see where it takes them. Well, Mark Robins did great things at Coventry over the course of 2 spells. He took them from League 2 within a penalty kick of Premier League football 2 years ago, as he got them to the playoff final at Wembley before losing to Luton Town. After things unravelled earlier this season, he now finds himself in a battle to keep his new side Stoke City in the division. The Potters have had a real churn of coaches and players since they dropped out of the top flight in 2018. And that fearsome group of players they once had is now a distant memory, with injuries and a lack of form across the board costing them so far this season. They start the day just 2 places, but crucially 5 points above the bottom 3. An uninspiring 0-0 draw at home to Watford last Saturday did little to inspire confidence among anyone of a Stoke persuasion. 2 wins in 11 and just 1 win in 10 away from home means it's going to be a nervy end to the season for Potters fans who've travelled down the M6 in their numbers for this early start. Now just awaiting the arrival of the 2 sets of players here. These 2 teams, although only an hour away by road, some 61 miles from various junctions of the M6, not rivals as such. You can see the Stoke fans in the far corner as we look down at the pitch here from the north stand. The stadium has had Coventry in and out of it over the last couple of decades. Ownership problems have seen real sparse crowds in this stadium, but now the fans are back in numbers. Plenty of them in T-shirts for the first time this year as well. Very warm temperatures have swept across the country this week. Sky Blues hoping they don't have the blues at the end of this game. 8 wins in their last 9 now. The only slip in that run, a 2-0 defeat here by table toppers Leeds United. But it's Stoke City the visitors today, managed by a former Coventry boss, held in high regard here, and a man I'm sure who'll get a great reception ahead of kick-off. But once that's done with, Coventry City looking for a 5th win in succession. Plenty of people from the city have come out to see the game today. There is Mark Robins. Sacked by Coventry back on the 7th of November, ending a 7.5-year spell in his second point in charge of the club. Doug King there, the Coventry owner, was the man who decided to pull the trigger. But he feels justified in his decision now, with Coventry flying high under former England midfielder Frank Lampard. Well, he knows that today is all about him, really, but both coaches saying that it hasn't been too much of a problem to get the distraction out of the way. The players focused on the task ahead. Two sides with different objectives between now and the end of the season. Coventry fans here certainly enjoying the football they're watching right now. Let's take you to the team news. A change in shape for Coventry as Frank Lampard makes two alterations. They go from a back three to four with Jay Da Silva in for Jake Bidwell in defence. Jack Rodoni is out until the March international break with a dislocated shoulder, so Victor Torp comes in, himself having recovered from an ankle problem that's seen him miss the last 3 matches. Stoke boss Mark Robins changes his team by 1 from the team that started the 0-0 with Watford. Walter Berger returns from a 3-game injury layoff with a knee problem, so Jordan Thompson drops to the bench. It's the second youngest team in the division, which has certainly worked well for Sunderland higher up in the table, but this Potters group needs to step up with maturity in this one. Stoke in their change colours today, black with red and white trim. Since Frank Lampard's first game in charge of Coventry, only Leeds have won more matches than the Sky Blues. That's how good they've been. The enemy, a local band here in Coventry with their anthem that's being played around the stadium. Although it's an early kick-off here where some atmospheres can be a little muted. Plenty of noise and energy inside this stadium. Coventry are on one of the biggest runs of form in the country right now, with 8 wins in 9, an early chance to strengthen their playoff position in the early kick-off against Stoke, whose coach Mark Robins was hoping it would be he that took the Sky Blues back to the Premier League. And after his sacking in November, returns to the West Midlands, looking to cause an upset and give his relegation-threatened Stoke side a real shot in the arm. Robins is the 3rd permanent manager for Stoke this season after Stephen Schumacher and Narcís Pellac. He had a relatively short spell in charge, only 18 games he had at the helm. Things never really worked out for him. Stoke in the black here, in possession, with big Victor Johansson in goal, and who's made more saves than anybody else in the top 4 tiers of English football this season. Run being made here by Enda Stevens, but seen off here by the Coventry City right back. Evike. An aggressive side, they like to get in team spaces, they like to put the ball into the penalty area, they commit players forward to try and give themselves the best possible chance of scoring. Stoke though with Luis Kumas, who's overrun it. Silva in the side today as they switch from a back three to a back four. Bidwell went out as the third centre half, and De Silva comes in at his natural left back. Donny's absence as well felt today. He played left wing back in that game last time out against Oxford last Saturday. Hamadi, the centre forward for Stoke, now trying to find the goals for them in the final games of this season. Just 10 to go after today. Here with Johansson. Sweden #1 now at international level. Played all their games at the back end of 2024. Of being included again in their squad for the upcoming internationals in a couple of weeks' time. So well, Mark Robbins with Coventry. The League Two playoffs. Rooted as League One champions as well in 2019-20, then got to the playoff final, losing to Luton Town at Wembley. Many expected them to win. To penalties before they lost on spot kicks. That's how close they were to returning to the Premier League. Out to Berger, looking well in behind, but Al-Hamadi is offside. By Rob Smith pretty early. He scored once so far for Stoke. That was on his debut in the win at Hull in the first game of February. It's 2 goals for him in his last 23 appearances. Goal-filled season at Wimbledon in the first half of last season before Ipswich signed him to try and get them up to the Premier League, but only a sub with the Tractor Boys in the first half of this campaign. Hence his need to go and find regular football after Christmas. Coventry 5th, Stoke 20th at the moment in the Championship. Though only 1 point inside the top 6, is very congested in that area of the table right now. So Stoke, they are only just outside the relegation zone, but a 5-point cushion has them safe enough for now. Give away there by Bobby Thomas. Here's Bay. Taken off in there by Moran. Berger. Pearson in the Stoke side now. It's a great ball as well, and a great save by Dobbin. What a chance that was there for Stoke. Kumas running in behind. Seeing here again. He timed his run just about to perfection. Onside. Shot well saved. And the other Swedish goalkeeper. Bay takes the corner. As everyone know, and Berger couldn't judge it. Oliver Dovin made his debut for Coventry in the reverse fixture this weekend's round of games, the opposite of what they were on the opening weekend of the season. A game that Stoke won by 1-0 as Lewis Baker scored 12 minutes from time. Full stretch there though, Dovin. A wonderful palm over. Berger. Here to Phillips. Hansen. It's a determined run. Ball sent through towards Bay. Like doing well. Free kick by Pearson. He's no stranger to a yellow card, though we won't get one here from today's referee, who is David Webb. Pearson had more than a nibble, barging into the ground. Years ago this week that Mark Robbins was appointed as Coventry boss for the second time. He's now Stoke side on the attack again. Al Hamadi has got to score, and he claims handball. He says they hit a defender on the arm in front of the goalkeeper. Coventry, for their part, really living dangerously right now. Loose balls in behind, catching them time and time again. Grimes, the only player in this Coventry side that wasn't signed under Mark Robbins. He arrived from Swansea in January. De Silva. Eckelt. Have it back. A bit loose at the moment from Coventry. Looking much more organised. Hamadi here claiming it was a handball. Well, it did hit the arm of sorts of Bobby Thomas, but with two arms against the body like that, that's never going to be penalised. A bit dangerous the way he turned his back on it. He's gone behind here. It's a corner to Coventry. Struggles to get a penalty out of referee David Webb. He's only awarded 2 in 24 matches that he's officiated this season. Here comes the corner. Whipped with depth. They only so far have scored the most goals from corners in the league this season. Most from crosses in general play as well. A chance they will put it into your penalty area. Stevens. Berger. Swing of that left leg. Finds Kumas. Know at the moment which side had won 8 in 9 and were in the playoff positions and which side were threatened by relegation. Beauty of the championship in full force here today. Run back by Ephron Mason-Clark. Al Hamadi puts that ball in there. Great ball as well. No one else attacking it for Stoke. Mark Robbins, I'm sure, will be wondering if his side can find a breakthrough soon, because things can't get much worse for Coventry right now. All over the place, all over the field. Al Hamadi, the centre forward, putting that ball in there. It was a problem for Stoke at the midpoint in the season, with Tom Cannon, their leading scorer, with 9 departing for Sheffield United. The only player on the field for Stoke who has scored more than 3 times so far this season is Brighton loanee Andrew Moran. They've only scored 12 away from home in 17 games up until today. Just 3 away victories. Torp. By Thomas. Mason-Clark. The gaps and spaces just aren't there for Coventry at the moment, so they go direct instead. Stevens should defend it and does. Bay. Ivike at his back and he's pinched it away. Sakamoto. Evike. Finally able to settle things down here. It's been all Stoke in the opening 13 minutes. Top, it's a poor ball, covered just about there by Matt Grimes. Grimes again. De Silva. Spread, and Evike drifting in field with Coventry's first shot of the afternoon. He sees his effort deflected towards Johansson. Certainly more like it from the home side. Lovely fade on that ball to put it right into the path there of Milan van Evike. Just gave the drop of the shoulder there to send Stevens away. Johansson having to prevent the corner. Hamadi putting his body in there, but Kitching did well. Silva looking for Sakamoto. Bae Jun-ho. Stevens. Troubled campaign overall, littered with various injuries throughout the year up until now. It's been the problem overall for Stoke, who still have several players missing and unavailable for selection. Stevens, look at the space he can move into here. Surely needs a better ball than that. De Silva. He moved on there towards Mason Clark, who's in a good run of form right now. Having his last 10 appearances either side of the injury that he suffered from November until February. Stoke have a problem. Both sides using it as an opportunity to get players in here to have a chat, because probably the game hasn't really played out as they would have expected so far. It's Pearson who's down. With some sorting out to do here. He's on 2 points a game at the moment, 36 from 18 in charge of Coventry so far, which is promotion form. Paul Nevin there alongside Mark Robbins. Looks like a change might have to be made. Jordan Thompson has been called for. Pearson back up, but not moving too freely. Thompson, who was left out of the side today, with Walter Berger favoured. Set to be brought in here. He's been called back to get ready, though Pearson, I think, wants to come back on for now. Dovin. It's ball out to Van Evike. Still Van Evike. To Sakamoto. Scored the winner against Oxford last week, looking to create here instead. Well, trying the overhead there was Mason Clark, judged to be dangerous by the referee as he fouled Victor Johansson. Phillips with the header into the air. Hansen knew that things were going to favour him as he came out there. Not sure any contact was made on him by the Coventry wide man. A sun-soaked day here at the CBS. Silva wins the throw. Pearson has gone back down, which suggests that his afternoon is over. Not sure exactly what the issue is for him, but something that means he can't continue. Northern Ireland international Jordan Thompson is brought into midfield. What Robbins was keen to point out before the game, that as well as Coventry have done, he thought the numbers of their performances at the time when he left the club were actually suggesting that they were heading in the right direction, even if the results weren't coming. Of course, a fine margins game, football. Even these wins that they have had under Frank Lampard in recent times have been generally by a single goal. Been putting teams away, haven't always been totally comfortable. They've been doing just enough. Back to Dovin. Sims rising, like he was clattered there, and he wins a free kick. Sims found himself in a Stoke sandwich there, or oat cake if you prefer. Delicacy in that part of the Potteries. Dovin taking his time here for Coventry. Last time they won 5 games in a row was when they were in League One in February 2020, just before COVID stopped football. In the top 2 tiers since they were in the Premier League back in February of 1998. Clark makes room for himself, didn't get the height needed. Grimes, Van Ewijk, Sakamoto. Take on Stevens. Well, he took on himself. As though he was caught there. He does bring a throw in at the end of it all. Stevens certainly is going to be in for a tiring afternoon with the quick feet of Toshihiro Sakamoto. Van Ewijk with this throw. Almost halfway through the first half already. Stoke trying to block off Kitching here. Van Ewijk in. It's a free header! Great goal! Perfectly worked, and Coventry City are ahead. Well, Stoke City, the former masters of the long throw when Rory Delap was wearing their colours, undone by one here. And it came off to perfection as Victor Torp arrived. Torp started his run right on the edge of the area and totally unmarked as he advanced. Left there by Lewis Kumas. And it came off like a dream. There's a set piece for you. And a terribly defended one. And Stoke have conceded 5 times from crosses this season, which is actually one of the fewer of all the Championship teams, but they didn't defend that one at all well. Kitching with his first goal since he netted against Plymouth last month. I beg your pardon, with his first goal since he netted twice rather against Watford in the early games of 2025. Coventry now heading towards that 5th win in succession, which would only boost their chances of making the playoffs. They've come such a long way. They were 17th when Frank Lampard took over here at the end of November. Had some time out of the game, having previously not coached a match since he was in charge of Chelsea for their draw against Newcastle in May of 2023. Has come back in. He's doing pretty special things now with Coventry. Stevens. Just about linked towards Bay. Goal kick. Stoke, and Bay in particular, thought they still had a corner. Not the case. Six of Coventry's last 8 goals before today were headers, and another one for them there. They certainly know how to deliver it. Someone's getting after this, but it's Phillips who turns it back to Johansson, who was helpless really in stopping that goal. Hamadi didn't have the strength to make his way through there. It's back with Dovin. Evike. Here's Thomas. Nicely linked into Sakamoto. Kitchen. Grimes. Thomas. Either way, needs to get back in position. Evike catching Moran there. Sarcastic cheer from those in the away end who feel like they've had a bit of a rough time with decisions up until now. Getting more championship experience. He was with Blackburn on loan last season, still only 21, the Dubliner. Start again here. Their own goalkeeper having had that free kick on halfway. They've got a little bit more direct under Robbins up until now. The numbers aren't hugely different between what he has done and what came before him this season. After a very rocky start, have this game in their grasp now. Sakamoto. Back to Dovin. Silva finds Mason Clark, who's offside. look at this goal again. Wasn't quite into the corner, was it there, from Victor Torp? Back in today after a calf injury. Stretch with every sinew to get on that ball. Went to the club just over a year ago from Sarpsborg, the Danish midfielder. Berger. Moran. He's lost it. Sakamoto looking to release early here. Khan making that run. Shimado. Silva, slightly fortunate there. He was bailed out by Kitching. Thompson on off the bench after that injury to Pearson. Bay. Wonderful footwork. Very close control. He'll go again. And he's offside now as well. Stoke winless in their last 3 games since they beat Swansea in the middle of February. One of just 2 wins for them in the league in 2025 so far. There have been a number of false dawns for the Potters this season, a number of games where it looks like they're heading towards something good, and it all seems to collapse in the games after that, and they find themselves in trouble again. It's their worst points tally at this stage since they had 29 points in the 2017-18 season, the year they came down from the Premier League. Sakamoto has beaten Stevens. Oh, it's got to be 2, it is! Torp at the double! Confidence flowing through the veins of this Coventry side right now. Frank Lampard has the Sky Blues heading towards the playoffs. But for Stoke City, are they heading out of the Championship trapdoor? Another great run from midfield there by Torp. And Stoke just weren't bothered about tracking him at all. Thompson not watching where anyone was at all. And Torp just ghosting into the area. And Sakamoto popped it through the legs there of Stevens. And the first touch, gave Torp the chance to dispatch. Coventry now, even with a 2-goal lead, surely well on the way to victory against a very fragile Stoke City team. Free kick here to Stoke, who have a long way back in this game. They did come from behind in their last victory against Swansea, but a 2-goal deficit is double trouble. Stoke try and flip this one round now. I'm not really too sure. I'd say earlier in the game those missed chances in that period of dominance might go on to cost them. And Evike out. Victor torpedoing his way into the area twice to get on the end. Chances for Coventry. From here by Moran, who could reduce the deficit. Can't quite feed it in behind for Kumas. For Silva. Mason Clark in the run race with Shimado, which is pretty tricky to win. He Cameroonian, no slouch at all. Able to express himself. That's a great ball. Al Hamadi. And he goes down. The referee says no penalty. He thinks that he was due one there, the Iraq international striker. Coventry City, a massive club that have been out of the Premier League for far too long. He probably should have been given a penalty for that, but I think the referee called that one right. Gordon Strachan was the manager the last time Coventry were in the top flight in the 2000-2001 season. Against Coventry that Frank Lampard actually made his senior debut as a player while playing for West Ham. Lampard's only coaching title so far was when he led England's side to a Soccer Aid win against the rest of the world in a charity match, but he would like to lift that playoff trophy in May later this year. A number of steps to get past before that point. Of course, everyone battling really for those 5th and 6th spots in the playoff pack, because the other two are so far ahead, so undoubtedly, whether it is Leeds, Sheffield United, Burnley or Sunderland, they will be the favourites. You never know. Thompson. Nice ball. Bay. It's taken away from Al Hamadi. De Silva. Managed to clear. Does emphatically. Sims battling away, but he can't get a foot on it. Berger advancing. Evite got a toe on it, which was needed. And Grimes can see a way out. Torp. Minutes to go in this first half, which started so well for Stoke. Looks like it's going to end in misery. The home side have scored with both of their shots on target so far. Hamadi offside. It was always likely to come. Just saying to play that ball a little bit earlier. Comfortably on the defensive line there. He probably should have just left it there for Kumas, who certainly wasn't in an offside position. Thomas. A bit too early there, Chamado. His touch wasn't great, but good enough for someone like him. But not the best. Give and go. Heel there looking towards Sims. happy to slow the game down here. It's Stoke that need to do the chasing. One goal lead soon became two. They were 2-0 up in the first half here against Preston in their last home game that they eventually won 2-1. Will Keane pulling the goal back 8 minutes from time. But ultimately wasn't enough. They would quite happily settle for the same here. Albeit clean sheets haven't flowed for them on the whole in this run. Bay. Moran held his line. Inside. A chance to fashion something here with Thompson. Only cheers from those dressed in sky blue. Well, they've been offside there. A few fans just in front of us here were certainly signalling that, but play went on. Thompson, uninspired by what he's seen in front of him so far, trying to take matters into his own hands. Thompson into Stevens. Thompson. Stevens. That's a nice ball. And suddenly plenty of space here for Moran, who took it on, and the deflection will take it behind. The goalkeeper, Dovin, didn't fancy attempting to keep that one in play. Just sat up, which made it a little bit more inviting, hitting the thigh there of Kitching. Actually born in London, but moved to Sweden at the age of 12, so a homecoming of sorts for him to come back to this country. Corner by Stevens. Dovin couldn't get there. Luckily for him, one of his defenders in front did. Sims with 6 for the season. He netted both goals in Coventry's win at Sheffield Wednesday in the middle of last month. He's second of 4 successive wins before arriving today. He has only had 3 touches though in this game, which is the fewest of any player on the pitch. Sims down there with touch number 4, but it doesn't end well for him. Kumas. Little change there from the assistant in front of him. And the Stoke fans not happy. Shumaro. To Johansson. Phillips. Baptism for him back into the Championship this year, having signed on loan from Tottenham. Paddy feeling the pain after being bumped into there by Kitching. Not the kind of return that Mark Robbins was hoping for. The third most games as a Coventry City manager, 420 over his 2 spells. Gordon Milne in second with 436, and Harry Storer top of the pile with 584 over a quite extraordinary reign. Storer had 2 spells in charge of Coventry from 1931 to 45 and from 1948 to 53 as well. Kept it in the Midlands, also a boss of Birmingham and Derby, also a cricket player. To mix his sports up. Van Ewijk with the interception. And the run. Caught there by Stevens, advantage played. Stevens probably would have been cautioned. Mason Clark up against Chamado. Mason Clark edges it back. Thorpe now chasing a hat-trick, it's off the post. Sakamoto. Coventry reset and start again. It could have got even better for them right before half-time. Added time because of the injuries to Pearson. We move into added time now. 3 minutes are given as Mason Clark finds his way in, cleared out there by Johansson, and the referee has only given a goal kick. That is a massive decision. Johansson himself lying flat out on the ground, mightily relieved, I'm sure, not to see the referee reaching for his pocket. The replays of this one will be very interesting. Johansson looks to be okay. Mason Clark, not so much. They're holding his head. As I said, penalties were hard to come by under this referee. Boss Frank Lampard inspecting what he has just seen from a fair old distance away. Well, Mason Clark got the touch past the goalkeeper, who surely then took him out. I don't see how it can be anything other than a penalty. Player reaches ball, player touches ball, player then impeded from reaching the ball. It's a clear penalty. Johansson played the percentages game by making himself big. Really had disastrous consequences for him and his side. Meanwhile, Josh Eccles coming close before that with his effort that struck the upright. Shifted it well, and it was bending towards that far corner. Johansson might tell you he had it covered, but he'll have been worried. Of course, having his best ever season in front of goal. Thomas Asante there with a consoling low 5 for Mason Clark, who is okay. Johansson lucky to still be on the field of play. Nice work, his Bay. Can Stoke reduce the arrears right before half-time? 3 minutes were allowed. Out of that time, though, still to go because of the stoppage after that penalty shout. Well, Duggan has taken a fair amount of time with the ball in his hands here under new rules to be introduced next season. If you hold on to it for 8 seconds or more, then a corner will be given against you. The referee will be visibly signalling when you're in the 5-second realm. Certainly going to switch things up a little bit. Goalkeepers will have to kick it long more often than not, you would imagine. Overtime in added time. It's up to the referee here. Probably another minute to go. It was into De Silva. Torp was making a run. Check of the watch from referee David Webb. One here looking for Sakamoto. Stevens' header going back. Johansson, just about kept that inside his penalty area. First, fear that he might have conceded a corner, but it could have been much worse for him. There is the half-time whistle. Coventry City heading towards another victory here, 5 in a row, getting closer and closer. It could have been more comfortable for them at the break as well. 2 goals from Victor Torp. The first from a long throw, the second well taken inside the area, arriving late. They thought they should have had a penalty late on in the half after Johansson cleaned out Mason Clark, who had took the ball past him. He's happy to be going off, knowing that he's coming back on. But Stoke City have a long way to come back from this. Half-time at the Coventry Building Society Arena. It is Coventry 2, Stoke 0. Welcome back to the Coventry Building Society Arena. 2 goals from this man, Victor Torp, have Coventry heading in the right direction once again. hoping they've done enough in the first half to get them another victory, which would make it 5 in a row. Million Manhoef is a half-time substitute made by Mark Robins. They're also sending on Sam Gallagher here to try and give them a bit more beef in attack. Lewis Kumas and Andrew Moran, the two to make way. So we'll see how that changes things for Stoke. Coventry, for their part, will be looking to add a few more goals, I'm sure. Having find some porous areas in this Stoke defence up until now. Took Coventry to as high as 5th in the Championship in his second spell in charge. That's where Coventry sit right now. Much of the demise of Coventry in the first half of the season, in many people's eyes, including the owner Doug King, was the departure of Eddie Vivash in the summer, who was one of the main coaches on the training ground and held a lot of the parts of the footballing side of the club together. Not sure what Robins would agree. Difference in opinion between those two over the summer saw him leave the club. Manhoef putting that one in, but an easy take for Dovin. Gallagher sent on here. Scored 3 goals against Coventry previously in his career, but isn't on a great run at the moment. He's only scored once in his last 26 games in all competitions for current side Stoke and former side Blackburn. Berger, not a great touch, nearly worked out for him. Sakamoto, Torp. Eccles, the post late on in the first half. Mason Clark nearly won a penalty, or maybe should have won a penalty late on in the first half. Coventry will just be happy that they had a 2-goal lead at that point. The protest might have been a little bit more sincere had they not been in the lead by that margin. Al-Hamadi, with some great defending. De Silva. Started straight down the middle, but no one in a Coventry shirt. Eccles. Grimes, De Silva. Sims will come across, but it breaks for Mason Clark. From Mason Clark running here at Phillips. Back out to Eccles, bending one again. This time onto the head of Wilmot. Stoke have been warned by his shooting prowess so far. Not prepared to let that one end up in the hands of Johansson behind him, or maybe not, as the case may have been. Corner's bent in well. He rescued on the other side by Thomas. Sakamoto. By Phillips. Bay. Needs it for Berger. Bay. Traffic. Sakamoto seizing upon that loose ball. Stevens concedes the corner. Well, he's had great success at the opposite end of the Championship with former side Sheffield United, but fighting a relegation battle here, and maybe a battle today they have already lost against a jubilant Coventry City side. Grimes takes the corner. Rising there was Kitching. Berger. To Manhoef. Just nearly go through there to Thomas, but the offside flag is up. Shimoda. Playing up front here with Al Hamadi, but neither of them have had much of a touch or influence since half-time. Head injury here stopping play. Shimoda it is who has stayed down on the deck here. Cameroon international has taken something on the back of the head there. Eccles it was who came across, caught him with his shoulder. Left one on in there, but not totally cynical. Kind of bump you can expect in this division, I think. Eccles and Tor both enjoying themselves out there today. Eccles particularly, born in the city. He's been with the club since the age of 7. A promotion would mean more to him than most. Doesn't quite look a Coventry shirt under there. Maybe a family with split loyalties. Should do well to keep that hidden. Looks like it might be a Middlesbrough shirt. Back underway, Stoke down to 10. And he runs through to Van Ewijk. Shimoda welcome back on. Coventry have a free kick. Well, they were always likely to be good for a goal here today. They've got 2 so far, 3 surely kills it. Berger and Stevens preventing Milan van Ewijk from going any further. Coventry put quite a lot of money into signing him from Ehrenveen in 2023, nearly £3.5 million. The Sky Blue is going to play up here, as their famous motto goes. As you can see on the segregation netting on the far side by the Stoke fans. Stoke trying to hold their line. Here comes a fearsome free kick. And it's offside. Fragmented very quickly there. Not quite sure who would have been offside there though, apart from Mason Clark, and that's when the flag did go up. to say it, I think a few Stoke fans have already left here. Quite a few more blue seats visible than they were in the first half in that away section, where around 3,000 Potters have congregated for this one. Van Ewijk. Good for Mason Clark. His touch evades him. There's no one there either to keep the ball in play. It's a busy week for both of these two teams. They've got another game to come this coming midweek. Stoke looking for a way back into this one here, first and foremost with Gallagher. He will take the corner. Short one, and they've got a 2-on-1 out there with Million Manhoef. All deflected, still in there for Stoke. And Coventry survived just about. Silva can't get there. Oh, that clean sheet nearly disappeared there. A nervy moment from that set piece. Al Hamadi. Here, Mason Clark has come down. Feeling some pain in that lower leg ankle area, I think. Not quite sure how Coventry weren't alive to this corner as it was being taken, considering they had two out there. Deflected off Sims in the end. Saved by Dovin. This 2-0 scoreline is not totally comfortable here for Coventry. They need that third goal as quickly as possible. Looks like Mason Clark is going to have to go off here, given the communication that's being made back to the bench. It's the penalty that everyone thought he would win right at the end of the first half. Doesn't look as though that injury has come from this point. There's a contact higher up from Johansson. The Sky Blues do have plenty of attacking players who can come on and make an impact, especially in wide areas. One of them, Brandon Thomas Asante. Hasn't scored in his last 4 appearances, but the Ghana international will come on here. Man who made his name as a striker at West Brom, having arrived from Salford. Can still operate in that wide area. Helps it on. Stevens. Gallagher made the run again in behind. Bay. Berger from deep. Close enough to Gallagher. Chamado. Thompson. Manhoef. The Dutch wide man delivering and delivering well towards Al Hamadi. He says that his shirt was being pulled. Well, how much is another question. The ball probably still close enough to him to try and make a telling touch. He was being pulled initially, but it was still right in front of him. He just missed his header. He only has himself to blame. Wilmot will keep this in play. There's plenty of pace to offer. And direct running. Up against the Silva. Manhoef! Well, he's had a couple of goes now. He's certainly made an impact since coming on at the break. Well, Robbins felt he had to do something at half-time, and this particular change looks like it's paying off for him. To Silva. Thomas Asante, his first opportunity to run here at Shimano. Back out to De Silva. Eccles. De Silva, deflection on that cross, making it a simple catch for Johansson. Good to see Coventry fans smiling again, as a fan base they've been through so much over the last 15 years, playing their home games at 3 different stadiums here, as well as Birmingham and Northampton as well. Change in ownership eventually came for them in January a couple of years ago, and Sisu eventually exited the building, trying to build this club back up to what it once was, albeit in the Premier League, that was never played at this stadium, at their former home of Highfield Road. Kitching. Stoke, 3 forward here. Al-Hamadi, again messing things up. And his teammates not impressed by what he's doing out there. It's not happening for him, it's not happening for Stoke. Thomas Asante, as Eccles making the run. Thomas Asante. His cross towards Sims, punched away by Johansson. Coventry with another throw in a similar area to the one they scored from. Launched in with some pace again, and a backwards header. I think it was Gallagher. He put it over the top of his own bar. I'll tell you, that's where he wanted to put it. Just put enough height on it to loop it back over. Only conceded. Eccles puts great flight on those corner kicks. Sakamoto able to repeat his heroics at Oxford a week ago. Just halfway through the second half now, no change in scoreline for Stoke, but it has been a much more positive performance for them. Thomas Asante. Looking right, just holding onto the ball a bit too long there. Thompson. Al-Hamadi. Eventually lays it off. The run here of Berger. Gallagher square of him. He's got to go in. A will from Gallagher. The substitute has pulled the Potters back into this game. And that Coventry clean sheet has gone. They gave the ball away, the home side. Not like Al-Hamadi had taken too long to release this pass, but Berger made the run from midfield. It's been a theme in this game, hasn't it? And Gallagher comfortably with two players between him and the goal. And fourth career goal against Coventry. Just his second, more recently, in his last 27 games. He couldn't miss. That now gives them something to work with. Coventry change here, with Haji Wright coming into play. Scored 4 in his last 6 either side of injury. It's his first appearance since early November. A rendition of Delilah. Emanating out of the away end here. Torp. Doesn't quite run through to Sakamoto. Al-Hamadi putting a foot in. And then off his back as well, as Stevens carried it away. But Al-Hamadi is down and seemingly hurt. Shimado. It's a really nice pick out to Manhoef. They can play it far side. Stevens is making the run. Bay. Thompson. Phillips. Stoke looking much more confident now. Manhoef. Thompson. Berger. Gallagher onside. They want him in the middle, but he might have to cross here instead, or just take them all on. He's not going to get a decision for that. Berger. What a nice ball forward. Al-Hamadi. Stoke corner. And significant pressure right now on the Coventry City goal. It's been a really entertaining second half so far. Coventry have barely had a shot to speak of. It's Stoke who've been doing the pressing, albeit with little of the ball. It's about what you do with it. In towards Al-Hamadi there. Free kick for a foul on Tatsuido Sakamoto by Thompson. 20 minutes to go here, and it will feel like a long 20 minutes for Coventry fans watching here in the stadium and around the world too. Got themselves into such a great position, they don't want to let things slip. De Silva. Thomas Asante. De Silva. Just waiting for their moment here. This ball into Torp. Touch it back here and a chance. Oh, Thomas Asante, who can't shoot. De Silva. He won't shoot either. Eccles. That's the effort coming in from Torp, and he does win a corner. Coventry looking to re-establish that two-goal lead that they've built up. Another great delivery. Oh, nearly an own goal. And for a moment, that ball was going towards the bottom corner off the head of Stevens. Stoke mightily relieved to see it go wide. What a corner. Goes all the way through. Bit of shirt pulling going on in there. Thomas was being held. Manhoef. Bay, Manhoef. Al-Hamadi had made an early run but would have been offside had the ball been played to him. Manhoef right the way across. Evike is down here for Coventry. He came across to meet this ball. He was clearly injured by the time he tried to get back up. He might have done himself some more damage by trying to continue. It's just the way he planted that leg down there that has done the damage to that right side. Could be an Achilles injury, but it's clearly a serious one for him. So Frank Lampard is calling someone back here. Could look to Joel Latibaudiere here to play that right back in the closing stages. Jake Bidwell, another defender on the bench, as well as Lewis Binks. Derby with a trip on Tuesday to another side struggling in the Championship, bottom of the table, Derby County. They've then got Sunderland to come here before they travel to Sheffield United, so a mix of sides from the top and bottom to come in the next couple of weeks for the Sky Blues. Blackburn just outside the playoff places at the moment, go to Stoke on Wednesday. They then travel to the Den next Saturday to play Millwall. And then QPR heading up to the Potteries before the start of April on the other side of the international break. some middling teams after that Blackburn game for Stoke. Millwall, who I just mentioned, in action in one of the other early kick-offs today. They're taking on Watford. Like on his feet, wants to come back on. That one put straight out of play there by Dovin. Gallagher. Kitching. Silva, great ball. Thomas Asante. Swung his foot right the way around that. Really Sakamoto with no chance at all. Well, this Coventry side have just gone flat since half-time. Drifting in this game, losing their way. They haven't had a shot on target since half-time. Manhoef. Momentum very much with Stoke at the moment. I would value a point here as very precious indeed. They've only taken points from 7 of their 17 away games this season. They've taken 5 points on the whole in 2024. Draws at Burnley and West Brom, and the win they enjoyed at Hull. Yellow card out here from the referee for the first time today. It's Ashley Phillips who's cautioned. Reckless challenge it was. Again, across Evike, who looks to have recovered, going out for a throw. Still not moving totally easy. Feeling fit enough to continue. Must have just been an impact injury for him. Here comes another long throw. And Evike in. Into Eccles this time instead of Torp, as was before. Three of the far post if they could have got that initial flick. They'll start again from the left. High by Thomas. On towards Thomas Asante, who could wrap things up here. And in the end, Stoke get themselves a throw in. Fans watching on very nervously indeed right now. And Van Evijk here being hauled back to his feet by Walter Berger, but I'm not sure whether he's going to play on here. Shake of the head suggests it's all over for him. In fact, it's going to be a triple change for Coventry. Jamie Paxton coming on, Ben Sheaf as well, and Joel Latibodiere, who will go and play at right back. Well, no hat-trick for Victor Torp, but 2 goals, not too bad. He's the first with that flying header. Sakamoto created the second as he ran on and dispatched. He'll be very happy with that indeed. So Sheaf comes on for Eccles here. Sheaf, the club captain. Been subbed in the last couple of games, having been out with a muscle problem since the start of January. Latibodiere on for the injured Van Ewijk. Jamie Allen also brought in here. Stoke are going to send on Nathan Lowe as well, who spent the first half of this season playing in League Two with leaders Walsall and chalked up a fair amount of goals for them. 15 times he struck for the Saddlers. A couple of levels below where we are today. Scored in his first game back for Stoke and secured a 1-1 draw against West Brom in mid-January. Ali Al-Hamadi is the man to go off for him. Well, only 19 years old, he's with the England youth teams at the moment. Signed from Edgerton in nearby Cheshire in 2016. Manhoef tries to be a bit too clever. Right, the American going on. Only one option in the middle. It's a corner. Phillips couldn't sort himself out. Rams taking his time to go and take this corner. Former Frisbee player in his earlier years. Where's he going to be able to spin this one into? And he hits it long. He was looking for Thomas. Thomas Asante back out. Thomas firing it into a crowd. No, can't get a boot on the ball. Grimes again. Wonderful whip on that delivery. Bobby Thomas nodding off target. De Silva. Stray passes right now. Bodier getting stuck in, was then caught off the ball by Thompson, and the referee saw that as a free kick. Frustrations running high. What has been a pretty warm afternoon of football here at the CBS. Ticking now against Stoke, who are still in this game as long as it remains 2-1. We'll be hoping to get something from the likes of Lowe and Manhoef maybe in the minutes to come. Gallagher's goal a rarity. They'd actually only scored 3 goals from substitutes in the league so far this season. Only Sunderland fewer. Their change is unable to make a tangible difference. Phillips. offside. Stoke looking to get players up and forward quickly here as Johansson sprints from his goal to get play restarted. It's not going to be a convincing win if it is to be 3 points for Frank Lampard and Coventry today, but they all count. Ahead of the majority of the rest of the teams playing at 3 o'clock today, they would have a 4-point cushion inside the top 6. They would still be, having played a game more, 9 points behind Sunderland, who are a place above them in 4th. Silva here, holding on to Gallagher, who in turn tried to haul him back. A bit of a tangle between the two, and the referee has seen it in Stoke's favour. Lowe trying to make a nuisance of himself, as every good striker does. Manhoef to take it well. It's in. Gallagher scored again, and Stoke City have come back from 2-0 down to level matters. What an afternoon, and what a story this is turning into. Mark Robbins, the former Coventry boss, was given an honorary doctorate from the university earlier this season for his impact on the club and the city. Well, he certainly had an impact with his side today. And Gallagher just rising high there to nod beyond the advancing Oliver Dovin. We're all square. And Stoke coming again here. Stevens, held by Thomas. The way this game is going, there's only going to be one winner. Bay, Stoke corner. And if they can get the 3rd goal here, this would be a monumental 3 points for them. Hard to know if she's shielding from the sun or whether she doesn't want to watch. Maybe both. It was going so well. Comes back heel from Berger. Well, not often you see a back heel go over the bar like that. Somehow he managed to scoop it high. Got plenty into it. And had he found the top corner there, that would have been one of the winning goals of the season. Two minutes of normal time left. Coventry, for their part now, would be grateful to leave their home with a point. Grimes. Get the feeling there's going to be a big moment late on here. Johansson watching that one go. Swede putting everything into that. Gallagher has come on and scored twice with that flick on. Free kick. The Stoke player is not at all happy with that challenge. A yellow card is coming. Let's see how bad it was. It was certainly on top of the boot there of Bay. Don't think it's any worse than that. Another yellow card being shown here as well. Berger into the book. This game is far from done, and it will be very interesting now to see how many minutes are on the fourth official's board. Manhoef. It's deep, it's searching, but it's too close to dove in. 7 minutes have been allowed here by the referee. Grimes. Can Coventry give their fans a late lift? De Silva. Sheaf back into Kitching. Fired right the way across the penalty area. It was actually a great ball. Maybe just ahead of when it should have been played there by Joel Latibeaudiere. He'll be absolutely gutted to see this game end up the way it has. Those 5 straight wins don't look as though they're going to come. Doug King watching on from up high, disappointed too. The way they have to look at it is a point in the right direction of where they want to go. It's a throw to Coventry City. De Silva wants to take it quickly, but limited options available. Very limited. Sheaf spreads it. Thomas to right. Very limited time now. 2 extra points here could be huge for the home side. You never know. They've lost it. Berger. Sakamoto tracking back, but it's played forward by Bay, and Manhoef chasing here, but the flag up against him for offside. That must have been a pretty tight one. Trying to hold his line, was trying and delaying, but he was offside. De Silva. Sticks to the boot there of Jay De Silva, who's advancing. It's a good ball in, away by Johansson. 2 good hands on that. Bay towards Stevens. He put everything into that he had. Just trying to get this throw to be taken from the correct position. We've still got 3 and a bit minutes left on the clock. Sheaf. Scored at Arsenal and West Ham as a youngster. Big switch into Brandon Thomas-Asante. He will run at Chamorro, maybe for one final time. It's behind a few. Allen sets it back. Coventry claiming a foul, and Allen fires over. Gallagher it was who made the challenge on him. Let's see if any damage was done or not. Hard to know really from there. Allen, who has scored at Stoke previously back in 2022 in a 2-0 victory for Coventry. Gallagher retreating back to his normal position now. Gallagher. Berger scoops it forward. Looking here for Nathan Lowe, who's the latest to be offside. Just a minute and a half left. Have either of these two sides got anything left in what has been an energy-sapping encounter? De Silva couldn't quite squeeze it through to Thomas Asante. Shumado's just put the ball back on the field there to delay Coventry, and will pick up a yellow card for doing so. His 8th of the season. He won't be reaching a 10-game ban before the cut-off, which is fast appearing on the horizon. Towards right. Back out here, and a chance for Thomas! Match winner! Of massive proportions for Coventry City! And Frank Lampard, his boss, is the first man to hug him. Stoke City and Mark Robbins are heartbroken. Even by championship standards, this is quite something. And Stoke City, having worked so hard to come back from 2-0 down, have thrown it away in the dying seconds. An astonishing finish here in the West Midlands. Grimes it was who sent it in, but they couldn't clear it. Stevens' header didn't go far enough, and the centre-half, Bobby Thomas, unleashing an unstoppable shot to give Coventry all 3 points. And Frank Lampard with that arm up to the Stoke fans as well, who've been giving him a little bit of grief in the last few minutes. Coventry now have surely done enough, or have they? It's out of play for a throw-in to Stoke. Two balls on the pitch causing problems. Can they come back again here? Junior Shumado with the throw. Looping and bending in the air. And slid over the top in the end by Wilmot, and that might just be that now. This must be a real sickener for Mark Robbins. Lampard showing little emotion on the outside at the moment, but we might see a little of that when that full-time whistle goes any second now. It's going to be 5 successive wins for the Sky Blues, and they left it very, very late. A goal in the 7th minute of added time from Bobby Thomas, securing the current Coventry boss a victory over the old one. But boy, did they ride their luck in this one. They were 2-0 up at half-time. They were level at 2-2 with 4 minutes to go, after Gallagher scoring twice, having come on off the bench. But Bobby Thomas scoring the winner deep into added time to leave Mark Robbins thoroughly disappointed on his return to the CBS. Coventry, though, strengthen their position. 4 points they are inside the top 6 now. Frank Lampard just have to keep on the wins coming in the closing weeks of the season. Full time here at the CBS Arena. It's finished Coventry City 3, Stoke City 2.